or a mixture.
Okay, because I was
Yeah.
wondering,
In
so
this one, I would probably be inclined to keep the library one story.
that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
ask, because I know the
There's
li-
enough room for its footprint, and
Right.
you know, it makes a nice relationship with the council chambers.
plus from an operational standpoint, the library really likes all to be on one story, so
Yeah.
that when there's fewer staff at non-peak
Yeah.
times,
I
they can
think
still
in
have
most
control.
cases where, the only time that even in this one, in option 2, we've really drawn a footprint that could allow it to stay one story, because as soon as you split it with the other functions, then you gotta do 2 elevators.
Yeah, no.
And it just, you know, when you're putting what amounted to 2,000 square feet upstairs for the library,
Not,
when it's by itself, it doesn't make sense.
not worth it.
So both the other schemes were already hybrids in some respect.
Thank you.
But I think, you know, we'll continue to,
And I think you have to keep the courtyard here.
the only place we showed it gone was option
One option
2.
is, okay, test.
You can ask if there's room for it,
Oh.
it can go back in, it's not gonna preclude it if someone said, I love option 2, you know,
Oh, I
let's keep
see.
the courtyard. But again, just to get the reaction.
But I don't think in
Just to get the
3, you
reaction.
can't put the courtyard up
You can't,
Fine.
where you're
you
putting.
move it out of there or leave it where
What-
it is.
what- In option 3 or option?
Option 3, they're put,
In option 3, we would probably just rework it to be tucked closer to the station lane
Right.
corner, so we could take the
Kinda
road.
modify where it
We would
is.
we'd probably put the driveway off the station lane into the courtyard and keep it up at that corner.
Where is City Hall, where is the council chambers? Is it by the library?
In this one, it
In the-
was,
In the new hybrid?
in the new
super
hybrid
duper-
scheme, the council chambers is next to the library,
Yeah,
yes.
good.
So what I would do, you know, when this came down to planning, is I would put the multipurpose room in the library opposite the council chambers, so that they could relate to each other and have function space outdoors between them.
When you say opposite, you mean, they're on the same side of the circle,
Right, but opposite each other on that same side,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, it's council chambers, library, or
Yeah.
sorry, whatever this is, library, whatever the other one is. Yeah, the barbell.
Okay. So, okay, so,
And then you've got police and an admin on this side,
yeah,
and then the library council,
Yeah. Yep.
meeting room on this
Business.
side.
and-
I like that.
yeah.
I like the idea.
you're looking at them.
Kind of modifying the town square and combining it a little bit with Main Street.
Yeah, I mean, it's really gonna become, I think,
So-
really a town squares.
One comment on number 2, if you're counting this building as part of the library,
Mhm.
it looks to me like there's a lot more square footage than.
We, in this number 2 scheme, what we were gonna, the piece of the library program we were putting in the council chambers was the multipurpose room function, which is just about that size at its program. We would have to, we would not leave the configuration just like this, we'd clean it up, we, you know, maybe adjust some of the outer walls a bit to get it arranged correctly, but it's about the same size that you have programmed right now, as it is existing.
And-
It's just not configured
And
right.
the square footages are still very undefined, and, you know,
Right, they're loose,
they're-
but we
these are
knew,
like placeholders.
we knew that that multipurpose room function and its supporting storage spaces and whatnot would fit in this building.
Right.
And so in scheme 2, the idea was that's what would go there, and we just talked about having the council chambers kind of be opposite the pedestrian square to, again, create a relationship between them. But it could, you know, the library could butt up right against it, have a direct connector into it, I mean, all those things are also possible too, and so that's why we position it that way. Okay, so major, we work on scheme 3 to become more of the town square option. We have notes on the other 2 schemes to update, to make them a little bit better. Any other thoughts or comments or questions on any of the schemes that you want to take away? We will have
The
some,
playground, we didn't really talk much
we
about
didn't really
the
talk about the
playground.
playground.
I think
It's a
it's a
placeholder.
wonderful idea for activation. My gut is that the library committee should respond to you if they want it right next to the library, so
Adjunct.
it's a part of the library. It is a thing you do with, you have different age kids, and the younger ones are playing and the older ones are reading, and there's nice outdoor reading area next to the play area, and mom sits there, dad sits there, and has a nice morning, or is it this thing across the park that you pull up in your car and that's all you do, and it's not really linked to the library? I'd love to,
I think there's flexibility, I think it goes both ways. I definitely think that there's gonna be situations where, you know, kids go to read or go to the story time and younger kids go
Yeah.
play in the park. But I don't think it has to be next to the library to make that happen.
Well, if you have one parent, it's just a little
The
easier.
distance
if it's
isn't that
close.
far.
Yeah.
Well, one parent, but the parent, I mean, there's gonna be people supervising the children in the library during story time, so.
So they want
there's
to
gonna be
relate,
plenty of kids
they want to
without
relate to
parents.
each other, they may not be contiguous.
Right, and I think what we're gonna hope to find out, simply by showing playgrounds and all of these is, that it's a desirable function to have, and then.
We didn't see any libraries that actually had a playground.
No, because people
Associated.
This could
usually.
be a really, yeah. This could be
Yeah,
a
but then
draw.
people usually, library, the use and the thought of what a library is changing, but usually the reaction had been, I don't want all that noise next to the library. It's gonna be too much noise.
Yeah, we saw lots of libraries that were new, they
Yeah.
had new concepts, and there were things in many of them that we liked. We didn't see one that had a
Yeah.
playground associated with the library.
I think that's still a pretty prevalent attitude, but I think what we'll do is, we have shown it kind of different areas in relation to the library, and I think, we'll just ask questions or see what comes up in discussion.
What we saw out of all the new libraries was every time they had a view of some kind, they utilized it in design. Big
Yep.
open windows,
Yep,
big
absolutely.
open views all over.
You guys have all kinds of advantages for views when
Yeah,
the
I think
library is
that's huge.
designed. It's gonna be awesome.
You don't, I mean, you go to the library, I don't know, you don't just wanna be staring at walls, you
Yeah, no, you're gonna have so much potential.
So you've got the option of this room being the multi-purpose room, this room not existing, and this room being the council chambers.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you have an option where it disappears or becomes a function in the garden, that could be something else, or it is used for the multipurpose room, or it is used for the council chambers. So we have two schemes where we are renovating it to one of the programs uses.
So I actually don't think that we need a
Because it's
much bigger
multipurpose.
council chambers.
But I'm gonna.
I mean, I don't think
will
that if we
clarify
build
that.
it bigger, they will come necessarily, do you? I mean,
But
what's
I mean,
the,
no, it's not
expanded the
very
walls
nice.
here and just made it slightly bigger.
It's folding, it is not remotely, let me be, as a user of other council chambers when I go for projects, this is really down in the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
well,
This is, it's
I
really kind
understand.
of, I mean, it's a beautiful building that can be
Yeah.
renovated, it's too big. You come in, they're folding chairs and they're
Yeah.
moving around and
they're
it's.
not folding chairs.
It is too big.
They
They're
are
very
not folding
comfortable.
chairs. They're very comfortable
It's
chairs.
not remotely Atherton. It's,
But do you really
old
think
and
that if we
tired
built
and
a nicer
plywood and
council
just-
chambers, more people would really come?
it just doesn't feel professional.
No, I understand, I'm just
It's not the
saying,
way it's.
Steve,
laid out.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
not to make it better, but enlarging it, the size. Do we need an enlarged environment? I mean, if we're gonna have a huge meeting, we'll have it in the multipurpose room or something, we'll, could reconvene. But for all the daily and monthly stuff, I don't know. I would just really,
It's a good question.
okay.
People attend
thank
when
you.
they're concerned about something.
They do, but,
They're not gonna attend
yeah.
just because it's a nice place to attend a meeting.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, no, I really don't think so.
I think there's a lot you can do to improve this room and lay it out better and get more people
Right.
than you're getting in it now, and it's so dated and just unfunctional.
Well, that's true, but, still, I think Elizabeth's question is, do we need a bigger
Right.
space? And
I mean, that's one of the reasons one of the schemes reuses it as council chambers. We are planning in that scheme, we would add a little bit to the building so you can get proper restrooms and storage. But this space would be essentially cleaned out and reconfigured to be a more successful council chambers layout. And you could fit a decent amount of people, we tested it. I mean, it's maybe a few more than you've got now, because that's so much wasted space, the way that's been configured.
Mhm.
And that's not how, things have just changed in technology and stuff of how councils are, setting themselves up these days, so you could do better.
Sorry, the kind of came out.
I know, it really did, didn't it? Okay,
Yeah,
all right, so,
Number one highest income town
See,
in the
yeah.
council, whatever. It's
yeah.
Two big council towns, yeah.
I-
We don't need to overspend, but we're not even at.
So
I know.
I just guess
It's just real estate.
I question whether if there's going to be a connection to the library, if this room is best suited as the multi-purpose room for that, or more an entry to the library where you could have displays on the sides.
Could, that's another thing we talked about. I think in our scheme, we're gonna show it as multi-purpose in the scheme because of wanting to build a relationship across the pedestrian way with the council chambers. But I think if that ended up being the selected scheme, again, they can all start to be massaged to be, you know, what really is gonna be most successful.
The tough thing with multi-purpose is it's not a flexible building, it's not at grade.
This building is not great.
It's not, and it's not at grade, meaning you can't put French doors here. That's, where now you gotta build a huge terrace.
Yeah.
You gotta regrade it, or if you're gonna bring in tons of dirt, you gotta build a huge deck, and that's, it's just, it's not particularly flexible.
All right, so, you're
It is a
gonna,
big
you're gonna
help.
make some modifications
Yep, and
get
then,
ready,
you know, essentially what you're seeing will be kind of the character of the boards, you know, we'll make our modifications, they'll be in this same style, this same kind of layout.
Will you have handouts like this also, or just the board?
Do you think that that's good to, I mean, I don't know that if we do it this big or 8.5 by 11 for people, but do you think it would be helpful to have handouts for people to
I
take
do.
away? Cause we could,
Well, I don't know if we wanna let them take them
that was
away.
that's why I'm asking.
Well,
Yes.
just as a point of clarification, once these scenarios are developed and finalized and the first meeting is held, they're gonna be up on the website.
Exactly,
But that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about the neighborhood meetings,
right,
right?
right,
So
And they-
taking away won't be an
But,
issue.
I mean,
because they'll
I
be
think
able to
every
get
one
them
of
anyway.
us had our little pen in hand, and we, made little notes to it, this and that, and stuff, so it's okay to let them take it away.
The
Yeah,
only reason, but here's the flip side is, these are really early in development.
yes, they are,
They're not at all directed
they
yet.
require discussion.
And if you give them out, they're coming back.
Right, right.
They're gonna come back to a future council meeting and say, I like this scenario, what happened to it?
right.
I really like this one. And if you have boards, right, if you have boards and she does it on the overhead, it goes away. And you come back with the next year.
I mean, the other thing to think about is, each meeting will have a graphic recording generated. Every time we get back and get to process that, that will be available for posting. So there will be a gradual building of material on the website as well.
Okay.
So people who want to go back and look at what they might have attended will also, if they have to go there and they don't have their little takeaway to study and they're encouraged to keep going there, they'll get more enriched information because they'll get to see each of the postings
Okay.
of the recordings as they develop.
Well,
So it's
that's,
just some different ways to think about
That's
advantages of that.
convincing. Anybody else have a comment about that?
We're talking about for the neighborhood outreach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a little, I think you want one big board.
Yeah, we are gonna have big
And you're
boards.
drawing on it and
Yes.
taking comments.
Yes.
Okay,
It's be my two bit.
Yeah, I don't think we should
It's
have the
gonna be 10 or 15, 20 people at the most, and if the board is, I mean, if it can be large, like, I don't know
Oh,
if it's
yeah.
as big as that, but, you know.
It's, we were gonna do 30 by 42.
30 by 42, then you could, how big is 30 by 42? That's a regular plan sheet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big enough.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because people are, I mean, I'm assuming these will be fairly, and people can walk up, look at it closely, mill about, I mean.
yeah, we're not gonna have like a table workshops.
And you're bringing easels or something?
We'll have
Yeah.
easels.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah,
it'll be an intimate setting.
Yeah,
yeah.
and so we should talk about that next then,
Yeah.
is just confirming logistics and stuff.
Okay, so, I have photographs of my, interior that I can, send to you,
Okay.
if you want. And you haven't done yours, I
No, but I
think,
sent
But
my
you sent
I sent my
directions.
directions.
Yes.
and I think that, Joanne responded, she didn't send anything yet, did she?
Not yet, but I'm working on all the other homeowners.
And you are?
And
Oh,
coordinate.
good.
Okay.
Cheryl, if you give me your card, I'll
Good,
send it.
and then we'll just get that over to her.
Yeah, I think I might not have one with me.
You can give me your email.
Teresa, you had a little update on how many
Oh,
people
that's
have
easy. You don't
responded.
have to worry about it.
So I think Teresa has a little update on how many people have responded.
Oh, good.
So far, it's not a whole lot. I think you've got the most so far.
One minute.
Everybody wants to come to your house. And
Really, not the civic center?
Like
I-
six,
I-
and like 15, like 25.
Pardon?
I'm surprised.
Remember how many, like, is it 10?
Teresa's gonna
Less
give a
than
report
10,
if we be
everything.
quiet.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I thought it was 9.
Well, then, so I need to do a little letter ready campaign to friends.
Yeah,
That's the other one.
yeah, that's what you need to
Encourage
do.
friends to come.
Encourage friends to come.
There's no reason I can't do that, right?
No, you
Okay,
can
yeah.
absolutely do that. Yes, you can invite anybody you want. And I'm gonna do the same this weekend. And so how many from my house the next night? Three? Three. That doesn't
You said
include my
Steve had
husband
8.
and my dog, and, but we will be there. And then the Schroders is the next.
9.
You're right. You were right. You've got good
No,
instincts.
there's gonna be more than 9.
The Schroders is the one, they're the ones on the third.
People around here
Yeah.
Yeah,
understand this is gonna impact them.
yeah.
And I think that less so Lloyden Park, definitely, or, you know, Walnut, Maple, and Ashfield, people,
Yeah,
Mhm.
they'll come
I
out.
think they'll be well enough.
How about on November 3rd?
That's the Sunday.
Teresa?
I
November
think
3rd?
5.
Where's that one?
that's up on Walsh Road, Steve Noshheim's house. And then Joanne's is November 5th, which is the night of the election, evening.
3, okay.
And what about on the
And that's
8th?
Lindenwood.
3.
Three.
I don't think people can plan that far.
Yeah. I know, yeah. Okay,
Well,
so,
we're gonna continue to market it, is that correct?
Yes.
I know that, so the.
We can send out another email blast and the news, and then I think individual homeowners are supposed to kind of reach out and,
okay.
a little bit more, so.
So Teresa, you'll continue to give us directions and photos and things as you collect them?
Yes.
Okay, so our first one is next Monday, the 28th, so as long as we get it like by Thursday or Friday, that'd be great.
I think Steve's taking a picture of his house right now.
No, no, no. No, I'm just gonna make my list of the friends I'm gonna send it to. So we're finishing.
Cookies, chairs, and water?
Yeah,
So refreshments, yeah, we got a bag out there. Refreshments, we're just gonna do water and cookies. Is that okay?
Probably for like 20 people.
You want some wine?
Look at me.
Do you want some, you know?
And then chairs, how do you want to handle chairs? Do you think they need chairs with that number of attendees?
Not if it's 3 to 10 people.
Well,
Because we can leapfrog, 10 chairs, 10 chairs, 10 chairs. That kind of thing.
Leapfrogging 10 chairs would be great.
I think
Just-
that's
just-
or
Because I think
more,
there'll
I
be-
think.
No, we got outdoor chairs. I'm okay. We can bring some in from outside. We could get to 20 or 30 grand to my house.
I have chairs.
I can check with each resident to see what they
Okay.
prefer.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay, that sounds good. So, Teresa, we'll just get information from you as you get it pulled together. We'll be making our revisions feverishly over the next few days. And next Monday night at 6, we'll see Steve at his house.
In terms of staff attendance, there'll be a staff member present at all of the weeknight meetings, but there won't be one at the weekend.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll make sure I'm there.
Well, what about this committee?
Yeah,
We want
exactly.
to give guidance to people who are members of this committee.
I think it's open. Any member of the committee can go to any and all. The challenge is if there are 5 of you, or 4 of the voting members, notwithstanding Mr. Dobby and myself, you really have to be careful to not cluster around and talk, okay, together, or participate actively. You just have to observe, and I think you can talk to residents individually, right?
Yeah, theoretically, the challenge is if there are 4 of you there.
Maybe one should
and
leave.
there's interaction going on, that's a meeting, and then we have ADA issues and noticing issues, and
So show up, and if there's 4, one should leave.
Well, that would be the safest
that would be
thing,
the
Right,
safest thing.
sure.
okay?
The idea is just to make sure that there are at least maybe 2 or 3 committee members there to
Yeah,
answer
that would be good.
questions and
Well, and
things like that.
I think we want to know how to manage it, because the 6th one, we're going to do without the consultant.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
I'm-
so
I'm
Clive has
going
a
to-
suggestion. Do we want to try to
I think I would
assign
too.
committee members to certain events?
I mean, I think the idea of just assuming that, a certain number of people are just gonna show up, a certain number of.
Random, huh?
Yeah, it just,
Okay, so,
Shall we do a list?
yeah,
I'm planning to go to all of them, except that I don't know that I can go to the Schroders.
place the vote.
or on election night, or you,
I'm going on
And we'll
list.
refine the
Yeah,
other ones.
you don't know anything about it.
you're not having.
It's a distraction.
I am, it won't start
That one's
until
easy.
7:30 on one of the.
Okay,
This one.
all right.
I can make every
Yeah,
meeting
you'll have to
except
tell us
November 3rd, the Sunday
We
meeting.
can fix some of the other comments we got.
Who else?
I'm not sure.
You're only gonna do yours.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
don't see a conflict.
So Steve's not a conflict, how about you, Phil?
I'll probably go to the one on Hawthorne, that's, election.
Yeah,
and
in
also
Linden,
Mount
in
Vernon.
Linden.
I'm not sure what the date is. Mount Vernon?
It's Wednesday the 30th. Mount Vernon is Wednesday the 30th.
October 30, huh?
October 30th.
And I'll send out some emails to some neighbors in Lloyd Park about that meeting.
And
too.
you're, okay, so you're gonna go to the Schroders on the 30th?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay,
That's the one I wanted to go to, but if everybody else is going to.
I won't go to that one
I
then.
won't
I
go to that
feel,
one.
I feel kind of responsible because I invited them, I mean, I got them to do it, but,
I'm very flexible. I don't have to go to all of them, but I can make all of them except the 3rd, so
okay. I can do the
however we
3rd.
divvy it up is fine with me.
I can do the 3rd, and I can do Joanne's, election night, and I
I
can,
might not do Joanne's, but I'll do the 3rd also.
right, okay.
And I'll
Well,
do,
ideally, Elizabeth, how many of us would you want
Where's the third?
I
in each
think,
one?
I think 3,
Yeah,
I think
I
3.
think
Yeah, I think 3 would be good.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I think
Not
we have to
counting
show,
Elizabeth.
I think we have to show a presence and a little bit of solidarity. Shows, you know, some.
And so it doesn't matter
Interest.
if I'm, because I'm not a voting,
Right.
I mean, I
Oh,
don't.
that's
well,
right.
it sounds like it sounds like you and I will be at many of them.
Right.
I won't be at the Schroders, and, you know, then if Clive and Steve,
I,
Yeah, I could certainly be at the Schroeder one.
yeah,
None of them
My
have.
neighborhood.
yeah, okay.
Addresses are
yeah, that sounds good.
on the postcard.
Do you guys want me to leave these extra copies behind for you to pass on to any of the other members who missed it, or?
No,
No, because you're gonna
Okay.
change
Well, give them
it.
to,
It's really gonna
okay.
change
Yeah.
it.
It is gonna change.
yeah, I never got the very first batch.
That's probably best.
Yeah, I would have. All right, good, all right.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Thank you,
No,
Cheryl.
I think
All right,
we're in good shape.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Your comments have been great. They've
All
really
right.
been helpful.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
Cheryl, okay.
We'll see you next
Drive
Monday.
safely
Yes,
home.
we'll see you many
Are
days
you-
next week.
Yeah.
There's
Good
no
night.
work strike today, right? So-
It's over now.
It's over, so,
Yes.
okay.
Thank
good.
God.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we move on? We've got a few more minutes. Our ad hoc committee reports, master plan ad hoc committee,
Co-op day.
no, library ad hoc committee.
Well, no, we don't have a report because we haven't done anything, but maybe once we're through these community meetings, I would like us to talk about what we want the ad hoc committee, the library ad hoc committee to do as we move forward, because we don't have clear guidance at this point.
I think that at this point, the ad hoc committee has done its job, initially, and so it's just kind of out there as a,
Right, but I mean,
But
there
it
was
has-
some discussion about the content of what we're gonna do in the library is something that,
council direction,
yeah, so
yeah.
right now, we're not doing anything.
Well, I suspect to that point and other committee obligations as well, including the main committee, after the master plan is complete, the council's gonna have to go back and retask the CCAC as you go through the architectural phase. And whether you're talking square footage issues and content issues and service issues and those sorts of things, this committee is gonna be very involved with.
So,
But at this point, we're not.
so
We're
we're basically,
on hiatus, is what
yeah, mothballed.
mothball. You're on the shelf. Just really, just don't grow moss. Okay, the outreach ad hoc committee, we're still kind of reaching out until,
I do think we need to try to get word out again about these meetings next week, whether we just do individual emails of the 7 of us to our neighborhoods and our neighbors about the particular meetings that are pertinent to that neighborhood would help. Because I think we need to kind of boost the numbers a hair.
yeah.
So I have a question, Teresa, you did that one-page flyer that had, this one that had the 5, have you redone this with the 6?
Yeah.
I think it would be good if can we get some of these?
Yeah.
And we can pass them out? And you have it in soft copy?
Yes.
Maybe you can email it to everyone,
That'd be great.
because I can send out an email to my email list and encourage people to attend.
Don't forget to hang me. What does that say?
The refrigerator magnet.
Oh. Okay. Ah,
Lisa's very creative.
Yeah, but I think one last push of getting the word out would really, really help.
I do too.
I do too. Okay, so, Police Department Program Committee, you
Yeah,
want-
so our update is we are doing our survey. It took data, it was largely what Gordon had, we just started with the source material, so officially we've done it. We came up, we have a list of about 35 cities that are in the Bay Area that are 20,000 people or less. We are calling all of them with a matrix of information that is quantitative, not qualitative. So we're not trying to assess, do they have a great station or not, we're just asking the square footage, when was it built? Do you have your own police department, someone else? And then just to try to triangulate on square footage. And hopefully we'll have that data assembled and then kick back to our committee by the end of the week, so.
okay. Are we also, so the other questions, I haven't reviewed the questions in detail. Are we asking, economic, do they have a retail component, a
No.
business component?
No, but we're
schools?
doing population. We're doing, median income or whatever, there's a website that has income for every town.
Uh-huh,
So we'll know kind of where the income is and the size of the town. Many of the towns you're gonna recognize, it's Corte Madera and, you'll know the towns.
mhm,
And because it's just Bay Area.
mhm.
And there's literally a 35 in the whole, like, all the way around the bay. Napa, Marin, Sonoma, there's only 35. What was interesting to me is in Santa Clara County, there was like one, Los Altos Hills. That was it. Like, it was just blew me away, like,
Right,
because I think there's a lot of very tiny towns that they don't have, they're not significant, they get trapped.
right.
Or there's a lot of people just in unincorporated areas.
And whether or not they outsource to the sheriff or
We're
they
asking
have
that.
their
Mhm.
own,
Or if they're merged with another city, if they're, or they
or
cooperate with
in
somebody
a
else.
district,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
all right. Any questions, any input from staff about that at all? Okay. Formation of any other ad hoc committees at this point? Anybody have any burning desire to kind of create more work for everybody, or what? I'm really hoping we can get through the next week with this neighborhood meeting outreach and get some, substantive information, and really feel good about the effort that we're putting out to, listen to residents' needs and ideas and feel invested in this process. Any other committee member want to say anything?
I would just say that I think we should definitely have 3 committee members and also either you or Jim at the Schroeder residence, as per what Rick said about that probably being the most well-attended of the
Okay.
neighborhood meetings, and I guess most important because it's neighbors who are gonna be directly affected by everything that's going on.
I plan to attend, and, Jim won't be.
Jim's not back.
Jim's gone.
Jim's gone.
Okay, so
So,
you
yeah.
and 3 of us, whoever they might be.
So do we know who the 3 are?
Well, I guess it would be you and I, since we live in the area.
Rose said, no, are you
Well-
gonna be there, Rose?
I was wondering,
Schroeder?
Yeah,
You
Rose
can.
said she'd be there.
can I?
Up to 4.
Yeah,
So,
so
Rick,
Clyde's,
you-
no, I'm not gonna be there. If Clyde, Paul, and
Yeah,
Rose are
and
there.
Rose.
4 is a
That's fine.
quorum,
4 is a quorum,
Oh, right.
not counting you.
not counting.
So 5 Rose and
Rick,
myself.
Rick, do you want to
Perfect.
go?
No, it's fine. I'm happy not to go to that one. It's okay.
Okay.
Who's Clyde?
And the meeting on the 6th, are we gonna, is that, do we expect a sizable attendance at that meeting?
Council, the
Yeah.
joint,
Mhm.
It's gonna be down here, it's a study session, so it'll be this committee and.
Okay.
the
and
council.
council.
I got you,
this
okay.
committee
And then
council.
public. I don't know how much public we're gonna get at that meeting, much more than we get for
Okay.
our regular meetings.
But it will have been after all these neighborhood meetings,
Sure.
and they may have more questions.
Actually,
and-
it's not after all of them, is it?
Well,
But Kelly's is the only one after.
Kelly's is
Yeah.
the 8th, and that's not being facilitated,
Yes, okay.
except by volunteers from this committee.
So you'll get feedback from the consultant on the 5 neighborhood meetings, some Q&A opportunities, narrowing down.
Okay.
Sounds good? Staff, any comments, direction, guidance? Can't do it without you guys.
We'll make RSVP into you, Teresa, or is it somebody else?
Judy, who's this different desk?
Okay? Any motion to adjourn? So moved. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, guys.